Hey Matthew, welcome.
We get some more people today. Excited to be here. Well, we are excited too.
If you're new
For you to
here,
be here, not for us to be here. We're not excited about us being here at all, are we, Ryan?
no, never am. Uh, if you're new here, we'll wait a few minutes to let people join. Sometimes there's a ton, sometimes there's a few. Um, it just depends each time. Hey D,
Hi, Dee. Thanks for joining us. All right. I just found out that there is a Crate and Barrel outlet 36 minutes from the Kelton Lane house.
hmm.
Yeah, we might have to make a detour.
Well, you're gonna have time here. You go out there in what, week and a half?
Yeah, week and a half. Yep.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see some progress.
me too. Me too.
Hopefully you'll be out of it for a little bit once all your stuff's done.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can start ordering as soon as possible, like today or tomorrow at the latest. I just need to keep we keep running into things being out of stock or having super long lead times, or there's just been a few adjustments on sizing, like that things aren't fitting the way that we thought. So um, just want to make sure everything's accounted for before we start spending money.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, as we wait, guys, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. If you want us to look at your listing, throw it in the chat as well.
Yes, please.
Sometimes the messages go out a little late, so we try to give it a few minutes here of just boredom, and then we will start. So usually there's for a while, there's been about 30 people on each week. I changed some things and apparently something in my messaging changed and like last week there was what, 12?
Yeah, yeah, it was a
So
smaller group.
it can be smaller, but more time for the individuals or, more time to not be on the call.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I know it was a little unexpected last week, but I thought that was fun looking at that event space um, barn situation in Montana. It's just something different.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's also interesting to think of the overlap of a wedding venue to an Airbnb.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It all kind of, there's a lot of overlap there, but
Yeah, well, it's all hospitality.
Misty, you're gone. Misty, and you're back.
Can you at least see me? You me?
Mm, no,
Okay, how about now? Better?
can't see you, but we can hear you.
I don't know why my camera decided to just turn off.
I mean, it's fine. Uh, hey D, looking. This is usually for like Q&A and listing reviews. We went over your listing the other day, right? And so that's, I mean, we wouldn't do it again with you on the call or anything, but if you want to see other people, if people have them, Usually there are plenty of people that have us look at their listings. Like I said, I don't know if this time has changed for people, but um, there's not usually just four people on here. So uh, yeah, Matthew did it. Uh, yeah, well, we tried to move it to a webinar, Matthew, and I think that's where everything went sideways. But we will get it back up and figure it out here. So there'll probably be some people that join here in a little bit. But if, like I said, if you guys have any questions, Matt, have we ever looked at your Airbnb? I don't know if you can hear me, Matthew, but have we looked at your Airbnb?
Oh man.
We can hear you, Misty.
Oh, that's good. I just don't know why my. Let's try that. Hey, here I am. Okay, I think we got it figured
Um, good job.
out.
So
Okay.
I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna go over what I was just in a meeting with someone, and let me pull up her Airbnb. Um, and Sophia's here. Uh, and we'll go over that. So, and like I said, if you guys have questions, so in the chat. Dee, did you have any questions about us working together?
You want to
You're
unmute
you're
yourself
muted.
here? Yeah. Let's get you unmuted here.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I tried to unmute, but it wouldn't let me unmute a moment ago. It said you blocked it.
Oh,
No, I actually, everything looks really good, and I appreciate everything we went over the other day. We aren't currently there, but my husband and I are talking about, possibly moving forward. I am going to take some of the tips that you've already given me to change some of the photography and things like that.
Good.
But
Yeah.
yeah, at this point, just looking for more information.
Yeah. No, I probably said it on our call. I just said it on the last call I was on that like this isn't one big thing fixes everything. It's a lot of little things, right? And that includes even in design, it's a lot of little things, right, as well. It's not just having one great piece. You need, one great even hot tub, like big amenity. You need to dress up everything else around it. So, I was just on the phone with a gal here in Alabama, and I'm just going to walk through this property unless anyone has Missy. I can't see the chat anymore, so you just let me know.
yeah, yeah.
But
No, so
uh,
far, only Michael has just said that the Gulf Shores is a great place. I was just there this past weekend, which I'm super jealous of you because Matthew, it was like 10 degrees here in Nebraska. So I'd rather have been in the Gulf Shores.
yeah, it's actually been way too hot here. Um, so. Well, I just want to go over common mistakes that we see a lot. And what's frustrating for me with this property is this was actually professionally managed. And so there's a lot of mistakes. And as a manager, it's very frustrating to see people take people's money and not do a decent job for them. The obvious things right out of the gate is this is a horrible title. There is no mention of how close she is to the beach. She's like a minute walk away. That's the biggest amenity she has. It's a small, small apartment, so there's only so many amenities she can really even do. But being that close to the beach is very important. The other thing of clicking through, I don't like the multi-photo for the first photo. They don't tend to perform very well. And all this naming here isn't very useful either. It causes more confusion than clarity. But getting to the pictures of the unit, we have lights off in the place. We have a lot of blinds closed or partially closed. Um, let's get to the bedroom photo. We have curtains completely closed. We have fans spinning while photos are being taken. These photos just scream. Someone, the owner of the property took them. And what's frustrating is it was the property manager that took them. So, and this property manager has quite a few properties too, so she is doing a disservice to a lot of people. Um, but it's like I said, the photos, just professional photos are going to help. Out of the gate, the design by itself is very plain. It is very, very average. It's not gonna, this is the perfect example, and I told this to her as well, as she is gonna be in the averages. Right now, she has zero bookings though. So she is obviously freaking out about that. She shouldn't have zero, even if you're competing in the averages. She should be competing on price and having a lower price to get bookings, but she should be competing nonetheless. And right now, the issues are is these photos feel like maybe someone lives here and I'm staying in someone's house, and that's just a deterrent. They are not high quality. They are not selling the experience for that guest at all. The pricing doesn't move. There's no discounts in the pricing, and this description looks, at least it's bullet pointed, but it is so very boring. So it is not attractive at all. It feels like someone was held under gunpoint to write it. So there's just it's a lot of little things so that have to be right before we even start to talk about, there needs to be color behind the bed. There needs to like at least she has white linens throughout, which is a start, but she has no picture of a coffee station. She has no pictures of the soaps and shampoos. Don't offer these little guys. It's costly to you as the host, but just you can buy the Amazon bottles that say soap and shampoo and just fill them up with big jugs of everything. But yeah, this is a cute enough place. It's not outdated, it's not dirty looking. It's a minute from the beach, and you are taking photos like this though.
Yeah,
That
it's so sad. Like those sconces are absolutely adorable, and you can barely tell
yeah.
because it's so dark.
Well, there's no definition in the photo either. Like the editing is just so poor. Um, that that's just a big hurdle right there. And so I wasn't even talking to her about design. There's just so many things that need to be fixed with the way her place is presented. This is, no matter what, like how your place is photographed, even if you have great design, there's a lot of places that are super cool looking and that are photographed horribly. So, we use next door photos for ours, for anyone on here. They are nationwide. They're not in every single location though, but they're in a lot. Um, Make sure that you want that they know that you want an Airbnb shot. What I want people to understand too is a lot of people get real estate photography as well, and you don't want real estate photography. We're not taking pictures of the space. We're taking pictures of the experience. You want product photography. Think we're trying to sell this couch. We're trying to sell the bed, sell these chairs. Like, how would we photograph them? That's how you want them to be taken. To sell
Yeah.
the experience, you want to stage it for the photos as well. So if you have any amenities, like if you have a pool table, you want to stage the scene of pool being played before you take the shot of the pool table. So,
Yeah,
and then like I
agree.
said, the title is horrible. And pricing, there's I don't think they're even using a pricing software. The pricing is too close. It's basically the same thing on every week. Uh, but there's no strike through pricing either. So, um, that is one I just looked at, like I said, with someone trying to help them. I don't even know if they've joined the call either. They might be on here. I don't think so. But if anyone has a listing you want me to look at for you, throw it in the chat. We'll look at that next. If you have a question about your Airbnb, why it's not performing, throw it in the chat as well. Um, for this gal here, what we include in our when we design a place, we actually set you up online. We set you up with property management software, pricing software. Is all stuff that's in your name. We don't sell it. It's just what we use. So what we use for, over 6,000 stays that we've managed, we set up for you. So for this gal here, we're gonna set up her automations, her automatic messaging, pricing, her rental agreement, liability waiver, all that good stuff.
I'm not a co-host anymore, just so you know, so I can't help you with anything.
Well, I need lots of help.
So I got
Um,
you.
and now you are.
Now I am. Thank you.
So I know a few more people joined. If you have any, like I said, you have any questions, you have a listing you want us to look at, now is your chance. It's a light group today, so usually we can't get through every listing review. Today is the day. Take advantage of it. Throw your questions in and your listing in there, and we'll look at it. Otherwise, if anyone has a location that you want me to look at, I'll hop in Airbnb and pick some random places and critique them for you, and so you guys can kind of see what we're generally looking at. Um, for most places, it's the same stuff. It's the title, the description, it is the photos, the pricing.
All
Um,
right, so you have a question in the chat. Joe asked, do you suggest other platforms than Airbnb?
yeah, so we use Airbnb, Vrbo, Booking.com, and a direct booking site. Uh, if you are brand new, what I always try to have people understand, because what people do is they're brand new and they'll go to a website first, and that's what they think they need to do. And there's a lot of, gurus out there that are teaching that information because it is a little bit more novel, though. So they are teaching it because not everyone knows it. The problem is we spend money on Google ads for our direct booking site, and it's still about 3% of our bookings, which 3% does matter. It's not worth doing, but it's not the first thing you need to worry about. The number one platform you need to worry about and nail is Airbnb. At the very least, Airbnb is going to be 60% of your bookings. If it is not, there's something that about your listing that Airbnb doesn't like. So you need to figure that out. And I've worked with a lot of people that are like, most of my bookings are Verbo. And it's like, well, Airbnb doesn't like your listing. Let's fix some things. And then what happens? They get many, many more bookings on Airbnb. Airbnb should be about 60%. Vrbo should be about 30. Booking.com is going to be somewhere around 10%, depending on your size of space. A condo like this, it might be a little higher than that on Booking.com because that is more of a hotel booking site. But, and then, like I said, your direct booking site should be in there too. So, um, sorry, I'm reading the questions as I'm answering. I need to get rid of the chat. I cannot talk and look at the chat at the same time. So yeah, so but if you can handle, like I said, Airbnb Verbo will be a big chunk for you. If you can do those two, you're solving probably about 90% of your problems. Get really good at those, get really good at hosting those before you add more. The thing about Booking.com is just complicated. Their platform is complicated. If you have a decent property management software, you can alleviate a lot of that because you're not dealing with the platform, you're dealing with your property management software that communicates with the platform. A direct booking site is a whole another can of worms because now you need a Stripe account. Now you're processing payments. Now you have to deal with chargebacks. You have to deal with there's no coverage if a guest destroys your place. Like you have no protections in there, and so it is more of a advanced level that I don't want people to just jump to out of the gate. So let's get comfortable with everything else and then add that in. Most property management software, including the ones we set people up with, which is Guesty, a website is included. So as soon as you're ready, as soon as you have your Stripe account, you can just basically flip a switch and it is live. But you don't want to jump to that when you're still uncomfortable hosting on Airbnb.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what he means by unable to create a link Airbnb likes. But Joe was saying that she has a house that she's working on right now in 29 Palms, but no listing yet, no link or anything that we can take a look at. But we'd love for you to do that when you do have it ready, Joe. We'd love to see it.
Joe, have we met?
Let's unmute her.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Awesome. Well, welcome. If you want to chat about the place you're doing, are you designing it? Are you the owner of it?
I am. I'm the owner and I'm designing it. And my daughter has two out here that are doing very well. One in Joshua and one she's building in Yucca Valley. And it's going to be a Alice in Wonderland themed Airbnb, which
Nice.
is she's going all out on it. It's crazy. She's very creative. But her Joshua Tree booking only has 2 days open, even in the really low months in the off season. So that one, her pictures are great. She's a photographer. I'm a photographer. So pictures are, as long as I know what to take, I can handle that. I've got the good equipment for it. So,
Nice. So, a couple things with everything you're saying that uh, when people tell me that they only have a couple days open, I met with someone that basically the whole summer's already booked. And the other day, and that feels good to say out loud, but I want you to understand that that is a total red flag. And reason being is she is not priced correctly. And so she
agreed.
she has lost out on so much revenue. Obviously, she's already booked, so there's nothing we can do about it now for those dates, but future dates, is she self-managing?
Yes.
Okay. Is she using pricing software?
No.
Okay. Can we please talk?
Yes.
Because it's I mean, there a lot of times pricing software, especially once it's implemented correctly, you're talking a 10-20% increase in revenue. You need it to come down to get the bookings that she's already getting, but it's not going up for the bookings that she should get. So the correct ratio is 70% booked, which is 20 days a month. So she should have 10 days off a month that she is not booked. Obviously, that can skew once in a while when you have very long bookings, longer
Hmm.
stays. But most of the time, that is where you produce the highest amount of revenue. It's not the highest occupancy, but we don't care about occupancy. If I
Right.
can have less wear and tear in my place, less, insane guests, and make more money, that is the route you want to go, especially self-managing, because you're dealing with the problems. You're dealing with the toilet doesn't work. You're dealing with
Hmm.
whatever amenity got used and abused, whatever. There's just issues that come along with hosting people. So, yeah, she is incredibly underpriced to be at that high ratio. I'm glad she's still making money though, and is happy
Hmm.
with that because she's going to be really happy when she implements pricing software that
Okay.
can enhance for her and set all that up.
Okay.
So,
That would be great.
So for anyone on the call that I have not met with, like Joe, I guess I always forget to do this because I'm just get right into listings. But at Jay Stays, what we do, we started off as property managers. We've hosted over 6,000 guests. We're at like a 98% five-star review. We're really, really good at getting bookings and getting a five-star review. That comes from a lot of different things. That comes from high-level design. That comes from getting quality pictures, making sure the listing looks great online. Um, and so what services we offer, obviously free consultation for you, Joe. Happy to look over everything, look at any of your daughter's listings too. But the main thing that we do right now is we design. We're actually completely winding down the management side, and we are focused on just helping more people nationwide on high level design and then managing it themselves. So we teach people how to manage properly. We set up the right systems. We actually implement them for you. So we set up your software, your property management software. We set up your pricing software. We integrate those. We pull in your Airbnb listing. We set up just all the communication. Everything's talking. Your automated messages, which we've proven that deliver a higher guest review, rental agreement, liability waiver that's automated in there for you too. So we set all these things up. And this isn't our software. It's just we're copy and pasting what's worked so well for us for you. So the software integration is included if we do your design. We do all that for you. If you want that a la carte, that is something that we can set up for you. And that's what the gal I met with, I was just showing that listing. That's something we'll be doing for her here in the coming week or so too. So if interested in those things, I'll throw a meeting link in the chat that you can find some time on my calendar and happy to talk to you, for 30 minutes or so. on any of that stuff, and obviously free information. Or
So sorry, we have all kind of things happening in the chat. Sophia had a longer question. I'll read it here in just a second. But everything else is really just based on some back and forth stuff. So yeah, go ahead and put that in the chat while you're thinking of it, Ryan, the link that you were talking about. And then I wanted to know, after I read Sophia's question here, I wanted to know about beyond pricing. And I've had some people ask me about that recently. My old neighbor is thinking about turning her property into an Airbnb. And so I told her about Beyond, but I'm not knowledgeable enough to know much about it. So if you wanted to fill us in a little bit more.
did you have a question about Beyond, or just what it is in
Yeah,
general?
just give us like a high level overview of what it is and why you like it so much.
Well, so there's three main pricing software out there that for Airbnb. There is Price Labs, which everyone sees. They do a fantastic job of marketing. There's Wheelhouse that no one knows about. They do a horrible job with marketing. And then there's Beyond, which some people have heard. We used Price Labs when we first started. They weren't finding some of the smaller events, and the way you customize things in it, we didn't enjoy that experience. We then moved over to Beyond, which Beyond is the closest, and I think they're the best. We wouldn't use them if they weren't the best. We were managing too many people's money to not utilize the best. They are honestly more expensive. They're 1% of your bookings. So again, I wouldn't use them if they weren't that way. But what what they are all supposed to do is it's called dynamic pricing. So with any of the software, you want it to you do two things when you sign up for pricing software. You choose your base price and your minimum. Your minimum is basically what's the bottom dollar I'm willing to accept, right? Like if a good rule of thumb is you want the minimum to be less than half of your base. So if your base is 500, you'd want the minimum to be 250 or less. Now, everyone's different. And so if you don't need to maximize your place for whatever monetary reasons you don't need to make money, you can obviously do that whatever you want. I'm saying to maximize the revenue though. Now, that can be tough if your base price is $120 and your minimum is 60. I don't like playing with those Airbnbs because a $60 minimum, you're going to get a certain type of guest. So the minimum though is just basically a base or what is on a random Tuesday that no one should be there? What is that absolute minimum that you'd be willing to take that reservation for? This doesn't include your cleaning or anything else in there. Those will be added to that. But basically, like after everything is paid, what are you willing to be paid for that one night stay or, per night stay? But by separating those as far as possible allows the software to dance in between. It is going to go above. Now, the base price isn't a maximum, it's not a ceiling. It'll go way above the base. But ideally, it's what it's trying to do is achieve the base at a minimum of your average value over the year. So if you have, I turn off my notifications here, I'm going crazy. If you have like uh, a $500 minimum or a $500 base, and that is the correct price for you, you should see around 120 grand a year. So that's an average price of $500 a night at 70% stay. So that math is usually just if it's 20 nights a month. So 20 times 500, $10,000 a month, 12 months out of the year. Obviously, your occupancy will change throughout the year. As much as we try to get it to 70%, during high season, you may hit 80. During low season, you may hit 50 here and there too. But just because it's slow season doesn't, if your place is designed well, you'll still see a decent amount of occupancy in there too. And we've seen with like high level design as well in the off seasons, that's actually the biggest perk of having your place done right is the off season isn't as bad. Because just because there's less travelers, but those people that are still traveling still want a great stay. So they'll still choose the top of the pyramid, right, of places. But yeah, Airbnb pricing, there's other pricing services, even Guesty offers pricing. We don't use any of them. They're not as diligent with it and monitoring because the pricing software is going to also monitor in your neighborhood occupancy, what people are occupied by, your occupancy, meaning if you're already at high occupancy, it's going to raise your prices. If you're at low occupancy, it's going to lower your prices. It is dynamically changing the price depending on how far out the booking is. And the cool thing that Beyond's doing right now is they actually change your price 5,000 times a day in Airbnb by a penny. So why they're doing that is just activity on your listing. And it's just proven that the more activity you have on your listing, reasons why we change the titles once a month. Um, Airbnb just views that as it's not a dormant listing. And so they're doing that for you essentially. I don't know if Airbnb will figure that out over time and that'll be useless, but right now it's cool, it's free, and we like it a lot. So
Awesome. Okay, so we'll come back to you, to Dee. She had a question. And then Joe asked, does it consider festival weeks? It considers all everything. Like it's always checking the geographic area, I guess,
yeah,
for activities.
it'll find concerts, it'll find decent sized meetings, anything like that. It it like Beyond was like I said, Price Labs didn't see some of the like Omaha has two big events a year, and that's where we started. It has Berkshire Hathaway and it has College World
College
Series,
World.
and it wasn't noticing College World Series or Berkshire Hathaway, and which is a decent sized event, and so that was a big red flag for us right there. Beyond was the other cool thing, though, if you do know of anything you can also let Beyond know of an event that maybe they're not in there, and they will basically recalculate it in there too. You will still see increases even if they don't know the event because they're watching other places with occupancy, right? So they're rising or they're watching other places raise their price. And so when they see that, they will raise as well, and they'll ride the wave.
So Matthew asks, how well do these pricing tools react to things like we have in a D1 college town for football game, graduation, college move-in, world famous bar anniversary, NIL fundraiser? When these things are announced, lodging can sell out in a day, and you can have a listing for $250 a night that should be more like $1,000 or $2,000 a night.
Like I said, is it going to react faster than maybe you would? I don't know. And how on it you're going to be to react to that by yourself. Uh, depends on how locked in you are on when those events get announced. But it's essentially an organism. So it is monitoring not only the events, but like I said, when it sees other activity going on in that area, it is going to react to that and see other places increase their rates. It is there graphs you can look at where it shows you other people's pricing throughout the whole year on all of that too. But definitely sporting events are definitely monitored in there. It is tracking all of it. You cannot compete with it, hands down. And especially for 1% of your bookings, it is some of the greatest money you can spend.
Yep. Dee wanted to know if we were able to look at her listing again as far as description for tips. Talked about the pictures and what to do with them, but not about wording. Are you open to doing that?
Yeah, you got the link again, D? I don't have it anymore.
Let's get you unmuted, Dee. I see Faye and Robin are on with us, and I was just waiting to see if they had like a 10th property that they wanted to share with us.
No, but we are getting close.
Oh, good. I had a feeling. That's
Yeah.
great. We can't wait to see
It's actually
it.
it's freezing in Florida today. I've actually got a blanket around me.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I think we're looking
beautiful.
at like so. we've got a 3 bedroom. I have actually made some, we dressed up the sauna room at the property in West Virginia. So we added like a bench and a bigger plant. And we've really rehabbed again the garage in the West Des Moines property. We've had like tiles put down which look like carpet in like a squiggly pattern. And then again, we've added a plant near the sauna. And then we've added extra lighting. And now the outdoor furniture is being delivered tomorrow and the fire pit is finished. So we're ready to re-photograph. So
Fantastic.
everything that you, oh, and I chat GPT'd towels to be added to the hooks in the bathroom. White towels, and I replaced the towels in the sauna for the white towels.
Fantastic. Great job.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. I can't imagine how different that West Des Moines property looks like in the backyard just because it was so, kind of dead before. And
Yeah.
it was not a good time of year to take a photo. So that'll be
Yeah,
nice.
there's still snow right now, and actually in West Virginia. So probably in a couple of weeks, we're going to get them both more photographs and update the listings.
That's awesome.
Appreciate all the advice.
Of course. Well, thanks for sharing it with us. Super excited for you guys. All right. Dee posted her link. Oh, you got it. Okay. You're all over.
All right. I've met with so many people since we talked, Dee, and if you want to unmute yourself, I can ask you some questions. But Misty, you're gonna love this place.
Okay.
It has so much potential. I didn't even get a chance to go through some of the stuff with her because I just started talking about her place. And I mean, first of all, like the views alone. I mean, we love the
Incredible.
Smoky Mountains. It is a fantastic place, a lot of opportunity there. Your title though, I know that's what you asked about first, is not bad. I mean, it the thing that you want to think about with title, it's quick hitters. So I like that you have, Oasis in here. You have a lot of your amenities in here. The thing with the amenities, guys, is you want the differentiators in here. Now, if most places are not pet friendly in your area, and that is a differentiator, include it. I would imagine most places are pet friendly, so it's probably not, and it's not necessary to mention here because it's not going to change anything. The rest of these can be differentiators. Not everyone has a game room. There are plenty of places in the Smoky Mountains that don't have a view, and not everyone has a hot tub. You could include a pool in here that you have a pool table, though. I imagine a pool table is going to be more of a differentiator than pet friendly.
Okay.
That is one of the main things that I would look at. Now, I'll click through the photos again and see if there's anything else that you should mention there. But it should be, descriptor and then amenities. And you start with the biggest ones that you have. You do have an outdoor fire pit too, so you might want to mention that as well. Views might not be necessary as they can clearly see that with that here too. It's the same reason why we don't say don't waste the space on mentioning location either. It knows where you're located. So your description's solid. You got the emojis in there, you got the it's a long list of everything. So just from a quick scan, at least format wise, looks great.
Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure because we hadn't gone over that, and I'm like, are there things I should take off or add? And that was helpful.
Yeah. We didn't look at your pricing though, I don't think, did we?
No, we did not.
Okay. And are you using Price Labs?
No, I am using Airbnb's suggested pricing,
All
and
right.
I have changed it here or there on some of them that I think should be different.
Yeah. So a couple things on pricing. Please stop doing that, Dee. Whether or not we work together, please find a pricing software. Even if it's Price Labs, guys. I just talked horribly about Price Labs. Price Labs are still better than using Airbnbs. And they're like 30, 40 bucks a month or something like that. I'm telling you, it's just such a substantial ROI in there. It is going to help you. It's going to guide you. You are still going to need to do things. You're still going to need to check it once a week. But it is going to help it's really maximize when the revenue is available. So just like who was it? Joe. like those days being booked. And then as you're getting booked, it's going to start increasing your revenue because your occupancy is so high. And then it's going to allow for those other bookings to come in at a higher rate. Um, but the other thing that we do for people as well is we implement strike-through pricing. I don't know if we talked about that the other day, Dee, but we want discounts in here. And I don't know, I have a open tab somewhere. Um, so we want to see strike-through pricing like this. What this is Airbnb calls it strike-through pricing. It's just a discount. Every single day of the year, my listings are discounted. You will see it doesn't matter if I go ahead here in July, you will see a discount. This is a fake discount. All I did was inflate the price and then artificially discounted it. I have a last minute and an early bird discount in there. Two reasons why this works. And this was taught to us by Airbnb. The nice thing about our size is we get some preferred treatment and get to see how the sausage is made. They want to see this. They are thinking that you're providing value to the guest. And the guest thinks that, they have some urgency here to book to get this discount. My places are always discounted, and people will go from the last minute to the early bird, which is the exact same discount, and they'll be super worried. We'll get messages being like, I don't know if I lost out on that discount. And meanwhile, every day is discounted. So it is something that works well. So want some strike through pricing in there. Like I said, Airbnb will promote you more, and a guest will want to book you more. They will perceive it as a more expensive place that they got a deal on too. So when they do stay there, they will view it through a better lens. Um,
So if I use Beyond Pricing, I take their pricing and then I discount it from there, or do I increase Beyond Pricing?
so you want to, well, if you're just using, because you don't use a property management software right now either.
No.
Okay. I want to get you on a property management software and pricing software. Ideally, you're talking, like I said, if you use Beyond, if we set you up, we'd set you up with Guesty and Beyond. Guesty's going to be around $40. Beyond will be 1% of your bookings. Uh, what the reasons why is Beyond will send pricing to Guesty, and then in Guesty, we can do a markup for Airbnb only. And we'll do a 40% markup on Airbnb, and then we do a 30% discount inside Airbnb for the early bird and last minute. Um, that keeps it cleanest. Are you only on Airbnb right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, for this property, I just put it on VRBO, but I've got the prices really high. I
Yeah.
haven't gotten any bookings just because I've been talking to you. So it's
Yeah.
been in the last couple days,
So
VRBO.
Um, the reason why that's going to be hard for you to do then because you're not going to have the same discounts in Verbo. Verbo doesn't have, it's not as important in Verbo. It really doesn't matter, actually. We don't even do it in Verbo. Um, so you want the markup only in Airbnb and you want to discount it in Airbnb. Also, why that's important though too is having property management software. You want markups just because Vrbo is charging you a different commission than Airbnb is. So you want the idea is I don't care where people book, I'm getting the same amount of money no matter what place they book. Or maybe you hate Vrbo for whatever reason.
I do.
I would charge them more then and be like, hey, well, if they're going to book through Vrbo, they better pay me more. And so you can do that too by having those markups in there.
Okay.
Um,
I know
so
these pictures are terrible there.
yeah, I don't want to put you on the spot here. I actually want to show your place off to Misty, but look how great this room is.
It's
Um,
amazing.
and
So
look how
sad.
horrible the photo is though.
It makes me sad. I'm so sorry, Dee.
No, I know it's terrible.
I was telling Dee like the furniture and everything of the place is very cabiny, but the structure of the home is super nice. Like
Yeah,
her bones,
yeah,
with some lipstick on this place is going to be very high level, very expensive looking home.
yeah.
I
Agreed.
imagine this home was already expensive as it is anyways, but it will look like a very fancy stay for people that will pay a lot more. But for everyone, I guess that wasn't a part of this, like some basics though, just for you. We want white linens throughout the home. At the very least, we want rugs under the beds, blackout curtains on the windows. Um, the main thing with a lot that we're seeing with cabins is we need to break up all the wood. it is very one note that is going on for a lot of the space, but white linens will help a lot. You want them to feel less quilty and more duvet, like fluffy, comfortable. You just think we want to scream hospitality, and the more that we can do that, the more people will feel like it's a professionally run STR, and they'll pay you more for it. But the let's get to the outside because you have a lot of stuff going on outside. As I told her, she needs some twilight photos of this great view with the lights on, all those string lights. She's got a little tree house out here for the kids, and this little guy out here. People could get married in front
Yes,
of. I think
good. I would. I'd get married out there. Looks awesome.
for Misty's next husband, she'll reach out to you. Do that.
I, we just purchased this property in November and we've actually already had a couple weddings out there.
Nice.
Amazing. That's so great.
But this spot, I feel like it should be shown off better with better photos too. It's a
Agreed. Yeah.
cool area. And she has a pizza oven, which told her about that too. I feel like all this stuff is almost forgotten about. She has so many things going on. So she, as I told her, and you feel free to chime in, as I told her, I am not the designer. I just know enough to be dangerous. She has a lot of the big items taken care of though,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it she has most of the game room prepared.
Did you purchase it furnished, D, or did you
Yes.
you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as far as furniture, the only thing we've done so far is add the coffee bar. Um, the living room furniture I hate. I do want to upgrade that, but right now we've been upgrading some structural things that have been more important. Some of the posts had rotting wood and
Yeah, that's
those
definitely more
things.
important. That's
Yeah,
definitely more important. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not fun. It's not a fun way to spend money, but
right. It's my husband's way. I'm
yeah.
more of let's decorate, and we have added some rugs. There was no rugs. We did the one in the living room, and I think Ryan said it just wasn't large enough. I need to get a bigger one, so maybe I'll throw
Yeah,
that in one of the bedrooms.
yeah, yeah. Agreed.
Um, and
For
I'd like more pieces of furniture instead of a sectional.
Yes, agreed. Sectionals are tough. People think that they're like the best use of a space in a vacation rental, and I'm not going to say that that's like 100% rule. That's always going to be guaranteed, but you'll find that guests that are large groups, unless they're like it's like a family that well even I would say even a family that's got like 7 or 8 siblings or something crazy like they typically don't want to sit so close to each other and a sectional kind of essentially forces everyone to kind of cram in together and you would think it's the psychology on that is opposite with having like two large sofas instead of a sectional but what ends up happening is like nobody wants to sit in the corner and
Right.
then you lost the opportunity for a place to put a drink, a place for a lamp, or just having that a feeling like it doesn't feel so heavy. The sectional feels very heavy in a space. It's very like solid feeling, and a couple of sofas and some double wide armchairs or something is going to be a much better flow overall in a living room, especially in a big open space like this. So yeah, I would agree.
So as far as a rental, though, I've always thought that the leather furniture would live better. Is that recommended? Because it's usually bulkier as well.
Yeah, it really just depends. So if you're going with like a vegan leather, that's going to be the best option, but they're not always the cheapest. Real leather or a leather that hasn't like what you've got here on the sectional that's in this photo is either real like treated leather or it's pleather like fake leather
I
and
think it's
so and if it's a fake leather, if that's the case, then it'll end up peeling over time. It cracks and peels where real leather will wear. It'll wear better, right? So it does show wear, it shows patina, but that can usually be fixed. Raw leather, which is like the vegan leather, is is trickier. If you do a dark color, you're fine. If you do a light color, like any little drop of water or anything, um, shows up immediately, and it can be massaged out because it's skin, it's hide, it's a natural material. But like, who wants to sit there and like massage out a water droplet on the arm of a couch? Like, that's not rental friendly. And so it really just depends. It depends on the manufacturer, like where you're purchasing it from, and the quality of leather that they use in their manufacturing. It depends on the arm style and the seat depth. There's lots of, I mean, leather doesn't necessarily mean bulky. That it has, I would say that it's more common that it's bulkier, but it's not always the case.
Okay.
So yeah, you
So
can
would you
absolutely get a
recommend
more.
that or for living? Because whenever I go to a place, I don't want a stain on a piece on fabric furniture. It
Right.
just makes me think dirty, where you can
Yep.
clean
Yep.
the leather. So is
Yeah.
that more preferred, do you think?
Yeah, so actually, believe it or not, more preferred is a product called Performance Fabric. So Performance Fabric goes by lots of different brands. It's like Revolution or Krypton. Sunbrella is another brand. But Performance Fabric is essentially waterproof. And now you think Sunbrella, you think the outdoor stuff like canvasy, and it doesn't feel like that. It feels like regular chenille, soft to the hand fabric, but it's treated in a way that repels water. And if a stain, like let's say you spill wine, it's not soaking in because it's liquid. But if you have a child with peanut butter and jelly on their hands and they wipe it on the sofa, like that's going to get into the fabric. There's no doubt. But it's much easier to clean because it's stain resistant. So that it'll just come right out. It just is a good like little water and blotting, and you've got it out. So performance fabrics have come a really long way in the last 5 years, where they're almost more common now than they've ever been before. And it's a little bit more expensive, but really not much. It's not like twice the price. It's maybe like 10 or 15% more to get a performance fabric.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, these couches are probably, I'd melt in one when I'm there. But as I'm looking at the photo, I'm not thinking that this isn't attractive looking. It's like it's silly. It's reversed, really. Like where
Yeah.
what is comfortable to sit in isn't the best to look at, and it's going to take as good of a photo. So it's form versus function with a lot of Airbnb design. Like we want it to look nice, but we also want it to be a great experience for the guest. Couches can be an area that we have to meet somewhere in the middle um, with it. But sometimes we might trend towards something that looks more attractive and isn't going to be like you sink down in it and it's hard to get out of kind of couch. Uh, that's why we don't do recliners or any of that stuff either. I love a recliner and my wife hates them. Uh,
I love
uh,
them
That's because
too.
they're ugly.
yeah, they're ugly, but we got them. We got them when we had little kids for her to breastfeed, and meanwhile I sat them in all the time. Uh, they're so comfortable. But if I saw a recliner in here, even as someone that loves one, I would still be like, something's. It feels like it's someone's home, and I don't want to stay in someone's home. I want to feel like I'm staying in a place that's dedicated to give me the experience I'm paying for, and I will pay more for that. It's the same thing with kid items. I will pay more for a space that my kids can hang out and not scream at me, or especially a space that I feel like they can be safe and confined in and I don't have to worry about someone falling down the stairs or anything like that. Or like I won't ever stay at a place that doesn't have a pack and play or not even that, a high chair specifically. I'm not bringing one. I'm not buying one. I'll just go to the next home. And even if you say you have one in the description, if I don't see it in the photos, I don't believe you. So I won't stay there too. So if you have anything like that, always photograph all of your amenities. Kid stuff is an amenity. Show if you have any kid plates, kid utensils, anything in that regard. If you have bibs, extra credit. I one less bib I have to pack, I will thank you. again, I will pay for it. And so especially in today's world, what's really hitting is family-friendly places. Uh, People with families, people with kids, they are spending more money. They're the ones that you want. They have the money. Let, let's get it from them, okay? Um, so yeah.
Yep, yep, absolutely. The statistics are saying now that the largest group of travelers are multi-generational families led by their millennial children, meaning that the millennials are the ones that are choosing the place. So you need to appeal to them in an aesthetic way. But they are also being conscientious of who they're traveling with, which may be elderly parents. And so making sure that the property is catering to them as well. That's the largest group of travelers. That does not mean that that fits everybody's property. There's going to be properties out there that have no business catering to multi-generational families. But with a house with 11 beds in it, we probably could say that this would be a multi-generational family destination for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
You're so welcome.
I hope we get to help you out because this place is awesome. Like I said, so
Yeah.
much potential. If you alone, I want to see this coffee bar.
Yeah, that's a beautiful piece.
So it's actually updated since then. I've added a electric hot water. It's got the full Nespresso, and then I've added a bunch of the creams and sugars and wine. It's a wine bar, also some wine glasses and things like that. I did leave the regular normal coffee pot next to the sink because you have to constantly fill up the water for that.
Yeah.
Um,
I would
I
show
love
that
it.
too, though, that coffee pot, because we have a whole Instagram post on Keurigs for places that sleep more than two. Um, so like if I'm staying here, big families are staying here, they're gonna want to see much more than a Keurig. So make sure you have a good shot of that as well. I see it's in this corner over here, but I would get an up close shot of this coffee maker as well, and show coffee next to it, creamer, sugar, all that stuff too.
okay.
If you don't want to move it over to the other one, that's fine. But yeah, super cool place, lots of potential. So,
Great.
um,
Ryan, do we have one more? We have a little bit more time for one more question.
I have time for one question. Yes, what's up?
Okay. So Joe asked, how do you charge for heating a pool?
You don't.
Love
You
that.
nickel and diming guests for things like that. People will do it for AC even, right? You can do it. You can do whatever you want. All right. You can charge them for, turning the door handle if you want to, but you're ruining the experience for them. And so what you need to do is do a better job charging everyone as a whole and just understand it's the cost of doing business. It is the cost of managing the place. Your listing will look more attractive though if you don't say anything on the listing about charging for heating the pool and you just say pool comes heated. You will overall make more money long term. You will get better guest reviews because of it, which will in turn make you more money. Like you don't want to nickel and dime on that. We stopped charging for early check-ins about 2 years ago. And because there's a trend going with that direction. And for that extra 50, $100, whatever it was causing so much frustration with the guests that we were losing the guest satisfaction out of it. And like holistically, it was just in totality not making us more money by doing it. And so you have to balance the guest satisfaction, the guest review with everything that you do with all of it. There's some areas that we're still like we charge per person with a place like D, for example. So you sleep 14 guests, everyone over four you should be charging for. That's a way to make extra money as well. But how much that is, and I can see a long enough timeline here that might go away too, because right now that does cause a little bit of a rift with some people once in a while. If it causes more of a rift long term, we will also probably look at removing that too, because you always need to protect that review. So the review is everything. It is your proof that your place delivers what it says it delivers.
Yeah,
So
I have a quick question about the pool. We keep our pool heated as well, and we don't charge for 83 degrees. What is the typical temperature? And when people ask for it to be warmer, do you then charge? Because we feel like 83 is a decent temperature.
uh, I think that's plenty high for you. I think around 80. I don't remember the exact number for heated. Um, just say it in your description. It's heated to 83 degrees, and that's
Yeah.
as high as it can go. So that you don't get asked that question later. And if you don't have to deal with that problem because it's not a problem if it's laid out beforehand. Um, but yeah, and I would emphasize that it's heated, included, right? That's not an extra charge because especially you're talking about your place in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I deal with a lot of people in Florida that try to charge for heating a lot.
We've
And
never charged, but when somebody asks for it to go up to 86, I have asked for additional funds for that and have done that. Do you think I should just put that off the table? Is that easier? I mean, I do have control of it through my app now. We have a new heater.
yeah, you can definitely charge for it for sure. I would still say in the listing that it does not go above 83. Um, and then if they're bugging you about it, then say we have to charge for anything over 83, if you want. But I like it better if it's just clean. It's 83 degrees. That sounds very specific too.
Hmm.
Uh, so and that's it. And then to see how that goes. But we charge event fees as well, guys. So like there are places to make money. Like if people want to host a birthday or something like that, a graduation, it's always a little awkward when they want to host a funeral and you're charging them, but still, uh, like you can, that event fee can be whatever your heart desires. For us, it's usually somewhere between 200 and 500 bucks, depending on the size of the space. But if someone wants to host something, if someone wants to host a wedding, for sure. If they argue with you about it, you don't want that guest. Uh, because someone wants to host a wedding here, say 14 guests are staying there, they're going to have a lot more than 14 come over for the wedding. They're going to have, another 25 people or so. That's definitely at least a $500 charge. And if they complain, like it's more wear and tear in the home. No one's going to use the restroom. No one's going to wash their hands. No one's going to, use any of the supplies in the home. Like it is definitely additional cost. This isn't an event space. This is a home. And so if they want to have an event, it's another charge. So that's an opportunity to make more money. Like I said, charging per person is a huge opportunity. For any place that sleeps over 10, you're missing a lot of money not charging per person. Um, yeah. So, all
Yeah,
right, went
great.
over.
We did
Um,
go over a little bit. Yeah. Sophia wants you to post the link to the group again if you don't mind.
yep. Did
For
everyone
people
get
who have
to
questions.
the link to being able to meet with me? Does anyone need that again? Now is your chance. Joe, hopefully you scheduled a meeting.
I will. I don't have the link, please. You have my email because you sent me the link for this. Is there a way to send it there? I'm not good at Zoom. Sorry.
Uh, I will
Maybe your
send the
last.
meeting link and the school group text to everyone on the call today. Um, I'll just have a text go out. Joe, I don't see your name in here, but it's probably under a different name, maybe.
Um, it's Joanne Budzinski. I don't know if that's in there.
Yep, I do see you. Okay, cool. Uh, yeah, I'll get that out to everyone. Sophia, that'll be sent to you too. Um, yeah, this was good. Smaller group, but hey, we got into a little bit more specific questions. Hopefully, this was useful for you guys. Take care of your listings. They'll take care of you. Go make more money. And let us know if you need anything.
Appreciate
Awesome.
it. Thanks, Ryan.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.